All right, it's May 30th. We're at the German Historical Society. We're interviewing Paul Smallacombe. And Paul, if you want to just tell us a little bit about your parents, your grandparents, and a little bit about the rest of your family.
Yeah. Well, I don't remember my dad. I was only 18 months. My sister Jeannie was only 2 months when he passed away. And we lived in my grandmother and grandfather's house by the creek up there.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you know, it was crowded, 5 of us.
Yeah.
So I guess when Uncle Will died, we moved down to his house on the far side, and that was kind of crowded too. That was only small.
And what was the address there? Do you remember?
201, I think, yeah.
201.
And the other side was 203, Rushbrook.
Okay.
And it was crowded there too. There was only 2 bedrooms, one for the girls and one for the boys.
That's where the Roses
Huh?
tax service is now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Tucker's place.
yeah.
Yeah.
And we played in the backyard, you know.
Played in the creek.
Huh?
Played in the creek and fished in the creek.
Yeah. Yeah, there was an old barn there up in the back by the alley, and I guess Aunt Lottie wanted to get rid of it, but she sold half of it to old man LaRose, and he built a store there, you know. But that used to be Uncle Will's rhubarb patch. We used to eat the rhubarb from that.
Okay.
And played up there.
What was in the old barn? Did they keep horses there at
No,
one time? Or?
yeah, in the old days they did, but
The old days.
they were gone. Behind that was another garage, had an old Model T in it. We used to play in that. And behind that was a chicken coop. Yeah, it was a pretty good sized one.
Do you remember any stories about your grandparents?
Grandpa, yeah, he used to take us for walks on Sunday, but he died when, 43, was it?
Yeah, I think so.
I know it was around the wartime. No, you don't remember exactly. But he used to take us a walk over on Jefferson, where my house is now today. That used to be a cow pasture. And he'd walk us around, you know, see the cows. Took us for a walk up through the pasture. I remember one time I stepped in some cow manure. I had my nice white and black shoes for Sunday school. Yeah, a lot of memories. He was a good old man. Grandma, she was a little crabby.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
And what were their names, just for the camera?
Huh?
What were their names so that we have it on there?
Oh, he was Henry Foster.
Henry Foster. And
Smallacombe.
And your mother?
Senior.
Grandmother?
My mother was Eugenia Clemens.
Clemens.
Smallacombe.
Yeah. And your grandmother?
Grandma, Margaret, wasn't it?
Yeah.
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 Maggie, they used to call her, so
Yeah.
I guess it was Margaret.
Yeah, it was Margaret.
Yeah. Yeah.
And your brothers and sisters? How many?
Yeah,
Name
my-
them and let us know a little bit about them.
Yeah, my sister Grace was the oldest. She married Cal Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was quite a bit older than us. Yeah, so I think I have the pictures yet of them, Grandma and Grandpa and Grace Johnson, you know. She grew up at Valley View. I guess Grandpa started it up there. So with the coal companies, because
Okay.
they took a lot of
the
graves out over where
the project is.
the project is, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to go over there sleigh riding, so following the holes. Yeah. I had a lot of fun over there. Yeah, and my brother Hank, he was Henry Foster
Junior.
the third.
Yeah.
The third.
The third. Okay.
My dad was the second,
Okay.
junior.
Yeah.
So he was the third. He went away to school with me when the war came, and Mom didn't have no money, you know. We didn't have Social Security or nothing like that
Yeah.
in the old days. So she didn't get much money. Couldn't have a radio or a telephone because, you know,
Yeah.
she was getting supplements. She,
Yeah.
help her along. And he went away to school, and he went into the Navy after he got out, graduated down in Philly. And he never come back much up here only for funerals and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Was he in the Navy during the war?
The Korean War.
Korean War. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he always bragged. He met Ted Williams
Oh.
down there. He was a pilot, and he was in training for the
Yeah.
Korean War. So, yeah, then he went down be a air traffic controller. I guess Reagan fired him back in 1980 when he fired all the
controllers that went on strike.
yeah. He was one of the controllers they fired. He was at the Philly airport, and then he went up to Rhode Island, then up to Vermont, no, New Hampshire. And yeah, he stayed with the FAA all them years.
Yeah. Did he ever tell you what ship he was on in the?
Huh?
What ship was he on?
He
You
never
don't
was
know?
on a ship.
No.
No. He was an aircraft controller.
So he never got out. Okay.
He never left Willow Grove, I guess, during the Korean War,
Okay.
because they were training pilots and stuff down there. And my brother Jim, he was the next one, named after your grandfather.
Grandfather. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, he stayed with Grandma after Grandpa died for quite a few years. I remember one time they had a flood back in
55.
no, it was before that.
42.
42. 42. He had to carry Grandma out of the house and flooded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did the house get flooded then? The basement of the house?
Oh yeah, but there was only partial basement.
Okay.
Grandpa had his wine cellar. Yeah. So, you know, he, I guess Clyde, cousin Clyde, when he got the house, he dug the cellar out.
Okay.
And he went down to the Masonic Homes gym in Elizabethtown.
Okay.
He graduated there, and he went to a machinist down for SKF roller bearing down the line down by Elizabethtown there. And then he got drafted. So he went for 2 years in the Army, and he came out. He went back up. He went up to Binghamton, got a job with GE, and they shipped him up the line, up to Syracuse, I guess it was.
Okay.
Yeah. And then they laid him off, and he went to what's that, the computer,
ICS?
no,
ICS?
no, the,
IBM?
all the ones that,
IBM?
no, what is it? They make the cash registers.
NCS, National Cash Register.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what it was.
Okay.
And then he got laid off there, and he went into Borough Computers out by Honeybrook, Pennsylvania. And I guess he got an offer from GE again, and he went down Valley Forge, and that's where he retired from. Yeah. And then his wife passed away, got buried at Valley View.
Yeah.
And then I was here till I was about 7, around town, and I went this first year over German with, Tommy Rosemorty, Neil Bell, Billy Ray Truscott, and all them guys.
Yeah.
And that Noldy and Phyllis Johnson, I think.
Yeah.
Phyllis Johnson Snyder.
Snyder, yeah.
And then I had to go away to school.
Did you
down
go
in
to
Philly?
Did you go to grade school here?
Just 1 year.
That's it, just 1 year.
Mrs. Sullivan.
Okay.
She flunked me. All the other guys, they were went to kindergarten. And I wasn't the right age to go to kindergarten, so they had a head start on me.
Okay.
So, yeah, all the old timers.
What do you remember about being a kid here in town, playing, and where did you play? I know you talked about going up to the farm up where you live now.
Yeah.
Was there a barn there, and you know who owned the land, and did they have other things, they had horses or anything like that, or just cows?
Well, in the summertime, sometimes I go up and play with my cousin up in Justice. My uncle had a bunch of acres up there. His in-laws had a farm. And he raised chickens. And used to bring them down to my mother to clean. She had to put them in hot water and then wrap them up in newspaper and then leave them there for a while and then pluck the feathers. Yeah.
They didn't have plumbing. Did they have indoor plumbing when you were
No.
kid? No. You had the outhouse
Next to the.
right next to the creek, and everything flowed into the creek.
Yeah, Grandpa had that.
Okay.
He had it channeled, so it ran in under the stone wall and back out the other end. So when they had high water, it'd clean it right out. Yeah, Grandpa was pretty smart. Yeah, Grandpa had his wine cellar, and
So you lived on Rushbrook Street, and then you lived on with your mother over on Jefferson.
my mother, yeah.
You lived where she lived, right next to the
Everybody was gone. Grace was married in
Yeah.
1950, I think, or some 49, 50.
creek. Yeah.
And she moved from there over to Jefferson, next to the creek.
Yeah.
Mrs. What was her teacher's name? Hard to remember.
Stevens has lived right next to you, right?
No, that's. So we lived on Madison. The old teacher lived downstairs, and we lived upstairs. Well, my mother and Jeannie lived upstairs. And then when Jeannie had Sid, they moved down to the White Elephant. And then when Mrs. Johnson died, we moved up to Jefferson. Yeah, Jeannie. And I had little Jeannie's sister, baby sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And where else did you play in town? Were there playgrounds at that time, or you just played in the field?
There was one up at Falder's Field. That's up on Garfield,
Yeah.
by where Jeannie lives now.
Yeah.
That was the main one.
That was a baseball field. Did they have swings or slides or anything
No,
like that?
no, just
a
a
field.
baseball field. And there was one over the lane by St. Michael's Hall.
Yeah.
They had one over there too. That was a long walk.
Yeah. Did you go swimming in the
Creek.
in the creek up there?
Yeah.
Dammed it up and swim them?
And yeah, we'd go up there once in a while, and then we got a little bigger. We used to walk all the way up Chapman Lake. we didn't go to the beach. We went to the pipeline. That was before. At the corners there, Chapman Lake Road, and I guess that's Rushbrook. isn't it?
Rushbrook, yeah. Well, it's Chapman Lake Road. Rushbrook keeps going up the other way.
Goes up to the high school. It goes up to the high school.
That's the Mile Hill. That's
Yeah.
that. But right at that intersection at the top of the hill is where you're talking,
Yeah.
where you turned left and went down to the.
It's just up a little past there. There's a little candy store across the street. Yeah.
There's a cemetery back there too, right?
Mm.
Cary Cemetery, I think, on that road.
On the dirt road, the first road where Jimmy lived,
No, there was.
the next road up at the next four corners,
Yeah, all the way up. Yeah.
all the way up.
Well, that's Chapman Lake Road
Yeah.
going this way. And what's that? Rushbrook?
Well, it's not Rushbrook. I don't know. We call it the Mile
No.
Hill going up the
Yeah.
hill, but I don't know what.
I think it's Rushbrook.
Okay.
It goes all the way up to the.
The school.
Yeah.
But right there at
And then
that four
goes
corners.
Country Club Road.
Yeah. At that four corners, there was a candy store.
No, just up the street where the pipeline went. The water company used to pipe the water out there
Okay.
down to German, down to the reservoir,
Yeah.
and then down to German. I guess the reservoir had the filtering station.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to have to walk, try to hitchhike. Yeah. In the old days, they'd give you a ride. You know.
Yeah. Oh, we always did too. We hitchhiked when I was a kid.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we used to play over on Madison Avenue there in the 700 block. Yeah, we used to play kick the can and everything else, you know,
There were-
baseball.
There weren't a lot of houses then over in that section.
Yeah,
But there still were.
yeah, old man Waters, you know, that had the insurance.
Yeah.
He lived in the second house. Moylan's lived on the corner. And then Waters. Then Cuddingham's. I don't know whose it is now, but. And then the Roses. We used to be a church, Welsh Baptist church.
Yeah.
And because my dad and mom had to take Graham and Grandpa up to Peck's, up at
Heart Lake or Chris up at Chapman Lake.
no, way up at what's the name of that church? You go up where 81 is, past the road, and go back that way. Welsh Baptist up there.
Oh, okay.
Trying to think of the name. But Peck's lived up there. Kenny Peck's
Kenny Peck.
mother and father,
Oh, okay.
and the whole family owned that one corner there, where you go down to that lake or reservoir or whatever it is down there.
Yeah, is that what they call Peck's Pond?
Huh?
Was it called Peck's Pond?
No. Oh, I'll think of it later. It takes a while to.
What do you remember about the stores in town?
Huh?
What stores do you remember in town when you were a kid that aren't here anymore?
Oh, right across the street where I had it.
Yeah.
That was Ellsby's, Myrtle and Nelson Ellsby. They were druggists.
Yeah.
I think she mixed the concoctions. They had all kinds of recipes in the cellar when I bought the building. Myrtle went up with her daughter, I guess, after Nelson died. So they wanted to get rid of it. 8,000.
That
Wow.
was a steal.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it was less than that. It was 65, I think. But then I remortgaged, and then it was 8,000 for
Okay.
the loan and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, German, you couldn't touch a house. As soon as it was on the market, it was gone now.
Wow.
Deteriorating quite a bit.
Yeah. What other stores do you remember?
Oh, Miller's, 5 and 10. Your aunt worked there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And Well, the Acme Market burned. Your Grandma and Grandpa lived upstairs.
Yeah.
They had to jump out under the.
Up to the canopy, right? The
Yep.
awning.
I saw that in the
Yeah.
paper.
Across the street was an A&P. Jimmy Rosemorgy was the butcher.
Yeah.
And then there was what? A dress factory there. Behind that was a shoemaker shop.
Tony Casera?
Huh?
Tony Casera?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You remember?
Allen's store. That was a big store.
You remember the pool rooms and restaurants and
Yeah, there was where Coutures lived. On the far side, there was a restaurant in the front. Danny, what the heck was the name? Danny owned it.
Meehan?
Huh?
Meehan?
Meehan's, yeah. Behind that was a pool room. I think it only had one pool table.
Yeah. That's
I
my father
remember.
my father used to hang out there.
Yeah. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. There was a lot. All gone. I remember where the wife lived on the main street up there next to the creek on called there was two houses, two apartments. They lived in the one side, and then Harvey's lived in the other. You know, Teresa Harvey.
Yeah, yeah.
And all them.
Well, let us know your wife's name and
Huh?
your wife. Let us know your wife's name for the camera,
No, okay.
and then a little bit if you can remember anything about her family.
Yeah. Bertha Sheridan Smallacombe. She lived up there on the main street. Then her father bought a house on Franklin.
Franklin.
That blew up.
That's the one that blew up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. How did it
And,
blow up?
So they lived upstairs over my shop for 4 or 5 years.
How did the house blow up? Was anybody hurt in
Stanley
it?
Fran was digging for a septic tank, and the gas tank slid down into
Oh, wow.
the hole, and the pipe pulled apart in the house. And I guess it must have got to the stoker, and the stoker either hot or came on,
Wow.
blew it up.
Was anybody in it?
Yeah. Mary Jo Sheridan, Russie's wife, Sheridan's wife. Yeah, and the baby, Bethy, Elizabeth, and they were in it. She got blown against the refrigerator,
Wow.
but they were able to make it out. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And there was a trailer there after that, right?
Huh?
They put a trailer there after that, right?
It was already there.
Oh, the trailer was there?
Yeah, Johnny, her brother John Sheridan lived there. Him and Ruthie. And so they all lived upstairs over my place. Yeah, there's a lot.
You remember what year that blew up?
Huh?
What year did that?
I have a picture of the house, but
That'd be nice to see. That picture. It'd be nice to see that picture.
oh, that was 68.
68, I was just gonna say.
Yeah, Bertha was. Yeah, Bethy was born that year,
Okay.
and she was only like 4 weeks old or
Yeah.
something.
I remember when it happened. I was in middle school, not elementary, but like junior high school.
Yeah. Yeah, 68. Yeah, that was the year I bought this building. I didn't have it fixed up or nothing upstairs. I just had bought it. Yeah. Over here was, you want more on the family?
Family or the town, whatever you.
Yeah. I'm just
But
thinking
her
about,
family, thinking about her family, yeah.
Huh?
Her family, if you want to continue with her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, she was the oldest, and Bertha was the oldest. We got married in 74. And her brother, Aubrey,
Yeah.
he was the next oldest. He was a year and a half younger. Yeah, he was a winner.
Yeah. Everybody knew Aubrey.
Oh, it still hasn't changed.
Yeah.
Still hasn't worked a day in his life.
I haven't seen him in years and years and years.
Yeah, he comes down, picks up the garbage down there, out of that building.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there was John. He had the trailer next to the house that blew up.
Yeah.
John Sheridan and Ruthie Correll. She was from Carbondale. Yeah, and then there was Russie. He was the youngest.
He lived over on.
He lived next to Battenberg Funeral
Yeah.
Home. Yeah, him and Mary Jo Marion. She was from Mayfield. Yeah, they had one girl and 4 boys. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to tell you. John. John Jr.
John Jr.
Yeah, he lives with me now.
Yeah.
Getting married June 8th.
Okay. For the second time, right?
Second time,
Yeah.
Yeah, he married Buddy Simons, Marshville.
Okay.
Lived up on the hill. At Bud's Bar and
Bud's Bar. Yeah. From number 5 Hill.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So.
What do you remember about East German? Anything?
Huh?
East German. Do you remember anything special about East German?
No, we used to walk over there, but nothing really.
Were there any stores over there that you can remember?
Yeah, there was one. What the heck was the name of it? Then there was Kucher's Bar. That was a Legion post.
Rudolph's was over there, right?
Huh?
Rudolph's?
Rudolph's, yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Forgot about that, yeah.
Red's?
Huh?
Red's Candy Store, was that there?
Yeah, that was right next to by Bottlers.
Right by Bottlers, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Was the train station around when you were a kid?
Yeah, Mr. Harold's father was a station master.
Harold Coons?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
When did they tear that down? Do you remember?
No, I forgot.
Did you ever get on a train over there? Do you remember?
Yeah, we used to go with Clyde Wilson. He used to pick up the mail and take it over in a bag, and we'd throw the mail on the train, and then they'd throw the mail off. We'd throw it in the truck, and then your cousin Clayton, he used to drive it over to Bottlers and pick up Clyde.
They spent a lot of time in Bottlers, I would say. They spend a lot of time in Bottlers?
Oh, he did every day, picking up the mail. Yeah. Yeah. Used to be a lot of bars in German.
Yeah.
They're all mostly gone. Was there 2 left?
Yeah, the Windsor and
Bottlers.
Bottlers, the only 2 left. I remember them all along Main Street.
Yep.
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 Cooch's Bar and Bottlers over the east side. And then you had Pelax and you had McDermott's, or not McDermott's,
Muldoon.
Muldoon's. And then you had Cooch's Bar over here. There was some guy had a bar, and I think one of the Cooch's bought that.
That was, what the heck was his name?
It was right across from the Longworth's restaurant.
Yeah. Yeah. P.I.
And then there was Helen's Cafe, I remember.
Yeah. McCookie's.
McCookie's?
Yeah.
Where was that one?
That one is a little down the street from. Let me see, there was Helen's, and then, what's her name?
Well, Helen's was in Mayfield, right on the... Was Helen's
No.
in Mayfield? Or was
No.
Helen's was the first one up from the Windsor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we used to go to the barber shop.
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah, that one, and then McCookie's was up next. It's about, what's his name?
That's where...
There's 2 houses between them.
Herbert's, yeah,
and right next to
somebody
Herbert's
else took it over later on.
Yeah.
He played football for Lakeland. I can't think of his name. It has the double windows, the two windows in it, the octagon windows.
Yeah.
And after that was Kay's Pizza.
Yeah. Case Pizza.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You went to the Methodist church?
Yeah. Yeah, Sunday school. Then we go over and look at the comic books in the window. You had the drugstore and an ice cream parlor and
Yeah.
comic books.
Okay, I didn't know
But,
that. I don't remember the comic books.
Oh yeah, they used to cut half the cover off, and then you half price.
Oh,
You know, so people couldn't save them, I guess.
how many Supermans were ruined?
Yep.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Was this always an empty lot next to it when you
Yeah, I did when I bought it. Yeah.
were? How about when you were a kid?
Yeah, I think
there
there was
was-
a house there.
Because there was
Trying to
they
think.
said there was like a Acme market there, an AMP market or something there.
Oh, that was down there.
But they said there was another one here.
Oh yeah.
That was in real early. I don't remember. I was
No.
just wondering if you were
No,
around when that.
There was a mechanics, junior mechanics organization
Okay.
where the dress factory is. You'll have burnt.
Was that where was Gomer Lewis part of that? Do you remember?
Who?
Gomer Lewis.
I think so.
He was involved with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your grandfather was some kind of a secretary or something of it.
Okay. I never knew that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. 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 I remember Mom talking about it.
You remember when the mines were here before they closed?
What?
The mines. You remember the mines?
I remember them pumping it out, but you couldn't go down there. Uncle Tom Wilson was head of the mine down here, the pumps
The
and
pump
stuff.
station. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember
Yeah.
when the mine worked over in East German? When they
I
were.
remember them blowing the horn, the whistles and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, they were changing shifts. But, you know, I didn't go through the mines.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. Whatever. Yeah, I can't remember all of them. But,
Do you remember any of the candy stores that were in town? Or?
oh, there were so many of them.
Yeah.
There was one up back by Aunt Florence's, you know where Aunt Florence used to live.
Yeah.
That was, I was thinking of his name the other day, an Irish guy, I think. What the heck was his name? Abbott? No. And then there was one.
Was that the
on
one that they called the It'll Do store?
The what?
It'll Do store?
I don't know.
That's what Art Wilson told us. It was up
Yeah.
on Lincoln Avenue.
Yeah. Yeah, it was next to Aunt Florence.
Dermot.
He couldn't remember that.
Packy
Abbott or something.
Packy Dermot?
I forget the name.
Packy, what was the guy's name? Packy Dempsey.
Huh? Dempsey, that's the name.
Dempsey.
Yeah. Yep. Dempsey's.
Okay, that's one store. And where were the other candy stores?
Okay, you go over Lincoln Avenue to Rushbrook. There was where Freddie Salatuha lived. Freddie's wife's mother had a candy store there.
Okay.
It's a Polish name, Zelensky, something like that. Right?
Huh.
Then you went down by your Aunt Lottie's. Frank DeRose had it. Next to Aunt Lottie's.
Just down on the same side of the street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my dad had a garage to park his trucks in. And then, well, you know Betty Young's.
Betty Young's,
Mm.
yeah.
And,
That was Alvin. Alvin Young had it, right?
Huh?
Alvin.
Yeah, Alvin
Yeah.
and Betty. Betty ran it after. And then across the street, catty corners, was McLaughlin's store.
That's that little empty lot there now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Then let me see where else. Oh, that one down on Madison, down in the
Betty's?
500.
Betty's store?
Who?
Betty's?
No.
Josephine?
I forget the name.
There
The
was
second
two-
house in.
Second one in, yeah. That was there when I was a kid. I think that was Betty's store, but that's what they call it when I was a kid. I don't
Yeah.
know who had it.
Yeah.
But I think my grandfather lived right next door to that, or in that same area there because I have pictures of my great grandfather there. So they lived there a long time ago. That's where my father was born, I think.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, your grandmother and grandfather, I remember. They lived across from Friedman's
Yeah, by the
in
stone
Brenzel's
wall.
house.
Mm.
Then they moved to Coons's. Had the house. Coons's house. And then Coons's bought the house, I guess, and so they had to move. They moved over to Acme.
Yeah,
And then from the Acme, they got burned out and went over Doc Carey's, where
yeah.
you were.
Where I lived with them for years. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my Aunt Margaret used to tell me stories about living on the stone wall on
Yeah.
Main Street.
Yeah, the Ellie's lived next door. Yeah.
You remember any of the big parades in town and
The what?
parades?
The Lions Club used to have fireworks up in Falder's Field, but I guess somebody got burnt and they canceled. That was like before the war, I think.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
How'd you
When
get
the war started, I was only, 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How'd you get started in the plumbing business?
Huh?
How'd you get started in the plumbing business?
When I got out of high school, I worked for E.J. Hayberger in Scranton. And I did, heating work. And for a year and a half, and then I got laid off. So I went into the Air Force. I was making, I was only making 75 cents an hour. You work 4.5 days or 5.5 days and come home with $36 after you take the taxes out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I was just out of high school.
Yeah.
Then when I come out of the service, I worked up in Binghamton and around and worked with my uncles in the textile business. And then I went to work down in Scranton in the Lonigan trailers down in the Kaiser Avenue there. And I used to do a little bit of heating work at night. And then I went to work for old Joe Schwartztrauber. That's a uncle to Betty Connors.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they called her Uncle Joe. Yeah. So.
Did he have a place in town in German?
Huh?
Did he have a place
Archibald.
in Archibald? Because I was going to
Yeah.
say Schwartztraubers are from Archibald. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And then I started doing the plumbing work with him and the heating work, and yeah. Eventually I said, the summertime is slow, so I said, I'll do my little jobs on the side for myself, and I kept working at it. That was over 40 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you remember of any organizations in town, like the fire companies or?
Yeah, I did the artesian plumbing and heating down there. That was 68, I think.
For the new building.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to attend meetings down the old place. Old man Dewar was the President.
How'd they let a Methodist in the Artesian? I thought that was all the Irish.
No, Beamer Lyman, there's a lot.
Beamer Lyman,
Morley's.
yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it was more mixed in town than back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that. Yeah, that was 68 because the Centennial was 70. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember we were trying to get the building done for the 68 Chevy, new Chevy was coming in for the Centennial, you know.
Yeah.
But we didn't make it, so it was down the old building and then the Mac was outside. Yeah, I was vice president of the Artesians. I was president of the Lions Club.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 34th. Yeah. Yeah, they're nice people in German, you know.
Yeah.
But then, you know.
Who was the police chief when you were a kid?
Old man Trezise.
Dick Trezise?
Huh?
Dick Trezise? Is that his name?
I know it was Cal Johnson's uncle. Martha Buckingham's dad.
Martha's father.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was the first one. Then old man Muleheisen,
Oh
not
man.
Dick.
Yeah.
He was after him, I think.
Yeah.
And they had a bunch of them.
Did you ever run for office in town? Did you ever run for
Yeah.
council? Yeah.
I ran for school director when they were building Lakeland School. Guess who I ran against? Frank Green. I lost by 90 votes. My cousin Crean Simpson, she was
Yeah.
up in Greenfield. She said, "You should have told me. I would have got you lots of votes."
Yeah, she would have got Tommy Perry, and Tommy Perry would have worked at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Were you in the Boy Scouts when you were a kid?
Yeah?
Were you in a Boy Scouts when you were a kid?
No.
No?
No. No.
Did they have the Boy Scouts then?
Well, I was away at school. I was only 7, so
Oh, okay.
no, I don't remember anybody in the Boy Scouts back then.
Did you ever go up to Edgerton?
Huh?
Did you ever go up to Edgerton, up by the Hosey Dam, when you were a kid?
No, I walked up in the woods there, but I don't think we went all the way up. Yeah, up past the cemeteries and then,
Yeah.
but, no, they didn't want to build roads in the old days, huh?
No.
So they left Archville have everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else? What other questions do we have? Let's see if there's anything we missed on here.
How about family reunions? Did you have any family reunions?
Oh yeah, we used to have a lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nayog Park.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, big pavilion down there.
Yeah.
Big green pavilion.
You do a lot of traveling with the
Yeah.
family. Did the family travel at all? Did you ever go
Well,
on vacations any place?
We go over Lake Carey. My uncle owned a bar over there, and we, but we didn't. Nobody drove, so my uncle up the country had to come and pick us up.
Okay. How about you?
Well, the only other thing is, we went to Colorado Springs for what's his name's wedding. That was what, 4 or 5 years ago?
Oh, for Coons?
Yeah.
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 Brent's.
Brent. Yeah. Yeah, it's nice out there.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yep, I was out there.
Yeah.
So what relatives you have that are still around here now? Yeah,
Huh?
relatives that you still have around here now. You have Harold Coon. Do you remember anything about his family?
No, not too much.
His father. You said he worked at the train station.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess he came from Waymart. He was station master over there and came over him. He was train master here too. But, you know,
Yeah.
I remember Uncle Art Nolly used to sell skunk pellets and everything. He'd catch them and
Skunk pellets. What are
yeah, they were worth money. The skunks, once they got the insides out, I guess the fur was
they? Oh, the
great.
fur. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, no
Pelts.
more stink
Wow.
once you got the
Yeah,
insides
the
out.
pelts from the skunk. Yeah.
Mhm.
What other relatives you remember? Like Wilson's, your Aunt Florence's husband,
Aunt Florence and Uncle Tom.
Uncle Tom. What-
Yeah, they were nice people. Me and Jimmy used to, my brother Jim, we used to go up on the mountain and pick blueberries and come back and Aunt Florence was always the first to buy one. She'd buy maybe 2 quarts sometimes.
Yeah.
How much did they go for a quart?
I think a quarter. I think she used to give us a quarter. I don't
Yeah.
know what they. So, yeah, Aunt Ruth, she always came down. I was their $1 million baby. Yeah, they never had any kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, Aunt Lottie Tucker and Uncle John. Yeah, John.
John Tucker, didn't he work on the railroad?
I don't know really where he worked because when I remember him as a kid, he was
He was a
very
big,
sickly.
he was
Yeah.
a big guy though. Wasn't
Yeah, he was on the couch all the time when I went over to visit. Yeah, and Clayton. Got another Clayton in the family.
he? Yeah.
John, grandson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he's up the Methodist church.
Okay.
He with the Boy Scouts up there.
Well, that's
They
good.
did the food bank and stuff.
Well, that's good.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember Clayton and Betty.
Betty Lou. Oh yeah, the cop. She wasn't afraid of anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, yep. I still see her.
Yeah, her and her.
Once in a month, I guess. Yeah, Betty Lou.
She lives in Archibald, doesn't she?
Yep.
Yeah.
John. Okay, Charles. He went up to Binghamton,
Binghamton.
for IBM, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah, he worked at IBM. Yeah, I guess after the war, I guess it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was after the war. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. Your grandpa and grandma. Yep. Yeah, and then they had her aunt, was it, that lived with her?
Aunt Lottie, Aunt
Tucker.
Susie,
Aunt
Aunt
Susie,
Susie
Tucker.
Davis.
Davis, was it?
Yeah. Well, she was a Tucker, but it was,
Yeah.
she married and it was a Davis. Yeah.
Mhm.
She had the long hair.
Yeah, I remember Aunt
Always
Susie.
had the pony braided hair in the back, and
Mhm.
she used to sit in a rocking chair in the house all the time.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I remember your grandpa got sick. He used to be on the couch all the time too.
Yeah. You remember cars, the different cars that your parents had and uncles had, and do you remember any fancy cars or?
No, my first car was $300. My uncle financed it for me. Yeah, that was a '49 Chevy, I think. And I was out in Detroit. I bought what was it, '51 Ford, 2-door hardtop. Man, kept trading them in. Yeah, I got one of the first Chrysler Valens with the push button.
Push button.
Yeah, and the slant
Six. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
Valiant.
Oh,
Yeah,
went
we had
down Smiths and Archibald.
They were in the '60s. They came out.
We
Yeah.
had a 3-speed on the column.
Yeah.
53.
I '63. My father's new wife Teresa had one,
Yeah,
and it was a push button.
yeah.
And I used to drive it, and I'd push the button like I was shifting like a car, and I'd be revving the engine up and pushing the button.
Mhm. Yeah.
Is there any rich people in town back then that had fancy cars, or that you can remember when you were a kid?
No, not too many. They
No.
didn't go. Old man Cole, that's Teeny Cole's father,
Yeah.
he had a Packard.
Okay.
Oh boy.
That was in the garage down there off of Rushbrook, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he owned that. He owned where the parking lot is today.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the double house. Yeah. Yeah, not too many.
You remember the old dance halls or anything? The movie theaters or dance halls or any of that?
Yeah, there's a movie theater next to the Windsor.
Okay.
It was a big brick building. The movie was on one side and Casey's had the other side.
Huh.
Casey down Archville, he married Eleanor Durst's sister.
Okay.
They were Pietts.
Pietts.
Yeah.
What did they do there?
Huh?
What did they do there on the other side? What was it?
A little restaurant. You know,
Restaurant?
mostly ice cream in them days.
Okay.
You know, and the hamburgers, I guess.
Yeah. What was on the other floor? Do you remember upstairs?
Daughters of the American Revolution or something.
Really? They had their
Yeah.
headquarters there?
Yeah.
Huh?
They had their headquarters there?
They had one there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I forget my third floor.
What year was that?
Huh?
What year was that they had that?
Oh, they were way back. I remember when I was a kid.
Probably 40s
Mom
and
had to
50s.
go to a meeting and
Yeah.
Wow.
yeah, all the yeah, that one.
Did you?
Then Connors' store was across the creek from that.
Where
Yeah.
Brenzel has the insurance place now?
Huh?
Where the insurance place is now, Brenzel's?
Yeah, that was Connors' store, and on the other side there was a apartment.
A house, yeah.
Yeah, Judge Egan
Egan.
lived there. Then the Masonic Hall with the liquor store, and then the bank. Then what was his name? Russell's had their ice cream store. Joni Nichols used to work there.
Okay.
Yeah. Russell's ice cream. What's his name? And there was two apartments in the back. One upstairs and one downstairs. Grace and Cal lived in it when they first married. And what was her name? Oh, she lives in the alley in a little house in your alley. What was her name? Her daughter.
Can't think of the name.
No. Her daughter's husband was the buried down the front there in the German cemetery. The daughters. Oh, hard to remember all the names. I'm bad at names, really. You know.
Do you remember that when the Masonic Hall? Do you remember the guys that were Masons in there? Did they ever try to get you to be a Mason?
What's his name? Charlie Avery asked me to be. I got, Lions Club, Clothes Company, and
Yeah.
Bowl, and I said,
That was Walter's father, right?
no,
Yeah.
you're not supposed to be asked, are you?
No.
Yeah, Dreer and all them.
Yeah. Wasley.
Yeah.
Art Wasley.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. What do you remember about the
Santa Claus.
Santa Claus? Nick Santa
Next
Claus.
to the ice cream store was Santa Claus, Nick Santa Claus. He had a coal business.
Yep.
He had the apartment, and Waters and Wasley had the insurance.
Yep.
then there was an open space, and then the old Moskovitz had the clothing store there.
Is that where Tom Evans' store?
The Tom Evans.
Tom Evans' store.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then what's her name?
Terry Williams.
Huh?
And that's what, then Terry Williams' house.
Yeah.
Marion.
Yeah. Mary.
Yeah.
Yeah. The yard, and then
Loretta's.
Loretta's.
Was that always at Loretta's store? Do you remember what it was before that?
No.
It was always Loretta's as long as I can remember, right? And then Pelax was after that, right?
Yeah.
Pelax
Bar.
Pelax Bar, yeah.
Yeah. And then there was Sam Solomon's ice cream shop. Then Greco's took it over. And then Rossi bought it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next to that was the printing place, Reverend Brandon.
Brandon, yeah.
It used to be a hardware store before that.
Yeah.
And then the dress factory and the A&P.
Yeah. And Danny Couture and Danny the Jeweler and all right on down the
who was
road.
before that. And then Pete Whitney had the barber shop next to that.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pete Whitney, then Allen's store, then the 5 and 10. Then it was a Whitbeck or something. Whitbeck had a hardware store. And
that's where the post office is now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was. The post office was there, but it's only half the building. It wasn't, they didn't have a driveway.
Yeah.
It was the whole lot. Yeah.
So what part of the building was where the driveway is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The lumber company down there, where the gun shop is now, that used to be right next to Avery's.
Yeah.
That was a lumber yard. Loretta or Marcella Griffiths used to work there. And then I think Max Cluffer took it over
Yeah.
after.
That was Cluffer's, yeah.
Yep.
Tom Cluffer's brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember any funny stories about town? Any unusual things that happened? Anybody people getting in trouble in town?
Any strange people, strange characters?
There was always somebody. Your cousin Clayton putting off a grenade in the creek or something.
Wow.
Burning the school down with firecrackers in the walls.
He did that?
Yeah.
That was.
Yeah, that's my brother Jim.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
He was a
Jim
character.
can tell you more because he was around here longer. Like he was about 12, I think, when he went away.
Yeah. We'll have
Then he
to,
was
we'll have to interview him.
27,
Yeah.
You know.
Do you remember when the guys went away to the war for World War II? Or
Yeah, I remember them saying this guy's gone, that guy's gone.
Remember when my father went?
Yeah. No, he was up in New York when he.
Oh, he was. I don't know. I wasn't.
I
I wasn't
think-
around, and he never talked about it.
No, I think he was up in New York and he got drafted.
Huh.
I'm pretty sure. I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure. But during the war, your grandma and grandpa lived over in Coons' house,
Yeah.
and they had 2 stars, one for Willie and one for your dad, in the windows. I remember that.
Do you remember when Willie and my Aunt Margaret were dating? I mean, were they out together a long time?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, long before the war and then after the war. Because I remember Willie used to write to your grandmother and Aunt Margaret. Yeah.
Anything else? You don't remember the old main street when it had the trolley tracks? It was all brick and everything. You don't remember that, do you? That was.
Yeah, there was railroad tracks,
You remember that?
but they tore them off during the war.
Okay.
But I was young, and I don't remember if they were still running them. Because my mother used to talk about it, going to Carbondale to her sisters.
Yeah.
And my dad used to go to Archville to see my mother. And they had to be back, I think 9 o'clock was the last one. Oh, he had to be on it. Or walk.
Yeah. Does anybody have horses in town? Do you remember were there barns when you were a kid with horses?
Well, just Battenbergs, really. But what's his name? Old man Finch, where Grayson Cows bought the house?
Yeah.
And the mayor lives there now. He had, out in the pastures, he had cows. I remember that. And after that, what's his name had horses. Chisel Lockney and Jack Lockney. They had horses up there, and their father, I remember, his father used to ride too.
Okay.
But I think that was Grayson Cows owned the house when they had them.
Do you remember when they where the garbage went when you were a kid? Did they?
Yeah, which one? Up where Beaver Nyman lives, up at the housing project.
Yeah.
Across the street, that was one. And then there was one over the lane. We go up to, what the heck's that street?
Delaware goes straight up.
Yeah, and then we went over. Dick Nelson built a house on that street. What the heck?
Where Pepper Krenitsky lived?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go by Pepper's house.
Yeah.
Back in there, they used to dump them.
Okay, that's where I'll have to go then.
Huh?
I have to go over there. I never was over there digging. I dug over the other one.
No, yeah.
That's where I get all my old bottles. I used to.
Oh, yeah, I
dig.
got a lot of bottles there. Harold got a lot of bottles. Yeah.
Oh, I wish I knew.
Well, I got mine when we were building Billy Lyman's house. I did the plumbing in there.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, I collect bottles.
Yeah.
We got some of them in the case behind you there.
yeah. I remember we were digging down for Ferp Edmonds. Mickey Trentley had the backhoe and hit the gas line.
Wow.
Oh, he jumped off and ran
Yeah.
and called the gas company, and what's his name? Wagner came down.
Okay.
He
Yeah.
went right in, pulled it right out. The backhoe, he wasn't free. I mean, the spark from the backhoe could have
Yeah. Yeah.
ignited it. Yeah, there was a good stream of gas coming out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to just bend them over and put a stick in them or something. That's what we did.
Yeah.
Anything else exciting you can think of other than?
Not really, no. Yeah.
Were there anybody racing cars? Any racetracks around that you used to go to, or
No.
no?
No.
I know Willie Dewar used to talk about going to the races down in Bone Stadium.
That's just
Down in Pittston?
Pittston,
Down
yeah.
in Pittston, him and
West Pittston, Pittston.
him and Jack Lockney used to go
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah. No, I never went there.
No.
Has German changed a lot?
Huh?
Has German changed a lot in your life?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Well, you couldn't buy a house in here.
Uh,
You got in the market, they were right gone.
wow.
Yeah.
No haggling on prices.
I still remember my father when I lived on Jefferson. Across the street, the heck was that guy's name? He lived in that yellow house right across the street from us. I can't think of his name. He lived there by himself. I used to take out his ashes for him. And when he died, the house went up for sale for $5,000. And my father said, I'm not buying that house, it's too much money, I'm not spending $5,000. And I said, boy, that don't seem like a lot of money to me. I remember I was in high school, I think, and he wouldn't buy it for $5,000.
No,
He never bought a house.
nope. No.
I was the first person in my family to own a house.
Wow.
Everybody rented all the time, yeah.
That Dearborn glass was a great asset to this town.
Yeah, do you remember when that came in? What,
No.
my grandfather worked there.
Yeah.
I remember
It
working
was
when I
right
was.
after the war, I think.
I remember working there when I was a kid, but I don't really know when it started.
Yeah.
Pepper told me when he was a kid, before that was there, that was a mine opening. He said you went right down the mines over there.
Oh, okay.
He was born in 31, and he said he remembers going down with his father on a Sunday. And right by the stop sign by Butler's, there's a mule barn underneath the ground there.
I think it was right after the war.
Okay.
A lot of people worked there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Were able to buy houses. And I remember Griffiths lived on the other side of our house. And he got a job there. The bank gave him a loan to buy the one up on Lincoln Avenue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember much about Leo Moskowitz?
Leo?
Yeah. Do you remember much about him?
No, we used to go. My mother used to say he had a sister, or brother in Archwell had a meat business, but he had the store here. Yeah, I don't know where he came from.
Yeah. We should have interviewed him, and we never did.
Yeah,
He would. He was older than everybody.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, the bank's even changed.
Yeah.
You go further in there now, they take 3 months to get you the loan. Before, it was 1 month. They had them weekly meeting at the board,
Yeah.
and you get your loan.
Yeah.
You walk in, and you say to Teresa or them, I need a loan for $5,000, personal loan. Okay, 3 days.
Wow.
You may change your mind.
Yeah.
Yes, 3 days to change your mind. Take the paperwork out. And do it.
Yeah. You remember the Matthias's Dairy and
Oh yeah,
any of the places like that?
Mrs. Westington used to work down there. Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Did you go to the basketball games at the school and
yeah.
after you got older?
Jimmy Gillen was the
Jimmy Gillen.
star.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Do you remember the bandstand on Main Street?
Yeah, Crystals. Yep. Used to have picnics there.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good place
not
to
too many
meet.
people had cars, so
We'll go metal detecting over there.
Yes.
That's what I'm looking for. Where can I go metal detecting?
Yeah. And Baristas bought it.
Baristas, yeah.
Mhm.
I don't remember anything up being there other than Baristas.
Yeah. No.
I remember the big store that was just up from Dick Muhlheisen's house.
Bar?
No, the big store that was there, the great big yellow building. It was a great big hardware store. What was that? Was it a variety store?
Oh, that was across the
Yeah.
street. Yeah. Verna. What the hell? Verna. She used to sell all them. What the hell? Yeah, she lived in Jessup, I think. Yeah. I remember her name, yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of much else.
Yeah.
Doc Roderick,
Yeah.
yeah, next to it.
Do you remember
Maybe,
Finnegan?
Huh?
Finnegan? Doc Finnegan?
Oh yeah, he had a dentist up in Carbondale, yeah, I never went to him. He went down to Archville. Yeah.
I remember Muldoon's had the funeral home and then they had the bar.
Yeah. Yeah, she was a school teacher, and then her sister lived on the other side upstairs. Win, is that the name?
I don't know.
Yeah, her sister.
Was there any other plumbers in town? Did you have any
Yeah.
competition?
Sparber store.
Sparbers.
What
Where
was that?
P-Tax lived now.
Oh, where?
Huh.
That was we always had a washing machine and stuff in the window.
Huh.
Yeah.
I don't
He
know.
did a little bit, you know.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, Sparber.
Hmm.
Yeah.
How about gas stations? You remember all the gas stations?
Yeah, the one down where the Legion's Park is. Yeah.
Right at the bottom of the hill.
Yeah. And then Rosemortgage, Sunoco.
That was up across from the Windsor.
Huh?
Across from the Windsor.
Caddycock.
Yeah.
And then who all owned that one? The other one.
The Tizzoni owner?
Arrow and, you know, Marlon Arrow, Cooper. You know.
Who owned the Christians gas station?
Huh?
Where Christians is down here? Ayub's had it. You remember who had it before Ayub's?
Reverend Brandon. And then what was Georgie's name? Georgie Stepakowski.
Stepakowski.
He lived next to Coons's up there. They lived up there. They were redheaded. I remember that. And then who was before that? Trying to think. Oh, Abbott's. Abbott. They lived in Einan,
Okay.
where you get down to the four-way stop sign. Or three-way, yeah, four-way.
Mhm.
Get down Kennedy Drive. They lived on that corner house where you used to get on the CSI.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, he lived there.
Who owned where Bednash is now? Did Bednash always own that, or
No, all of them.
Hollerin?
Yeah.
'Cause I only remember Bednash. I don't. Well, I think I do remember being before Bednash.
Yeah, what's his name? Teeple bought off Holland.
Hollerin.
About
Yeah.
the oil business.
Yeah.
Jack People, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the Hollerin trucks. I do remember them.
Yeah, I
now.
remember those.
Yeah.
Yeah, he lives right at the Mayfield boundary there, next to Freeman's. Holland's,
Yeah.
that's where they lived.
What was where Friedman was before Friedman, or was it always
It was
Friedman's?
always the old man. The old man before I needed him.
Okay. What was next to Friedman's, where the car wash was? What was in there?
I think Friedman built the car wash. There was some kind of a barn or something.
And I think next to that was a house where
Yeah.
Annie Boylan lived,
Yeah.
and that used to be a photographer's place.
Oh yeah.
I remember Burdick's lived there.
Next to that was Recheck's gas station. There was a street in the road there. Well, what's her name? Farrell's house was in between them.
So you had the
And then-
Sunoco, and then Farrell's, and then there was another gas station next to that.
Yeah, Jimmy Rosemortgage, yeah.
How much was gas back then?
13 cents a gallon.
Wow.
I had slips, but I threw them all away.
Oh, wow, they'd be cool. to have
I
those.
get so much paperwork.
Yeah.
So much paperwork. John threw a lot out when I moved out of the building down there, up the country.
Well, don't throw any pictures
No.
away. Let us take pictures
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's 5 or 6 boxes of them, shoe boxes. You know.
Dig them out and bring
Yeah.
them down here. We'll take pictures of them.
Definitely, yeah.
Anything else you can think of?
Yeah, but
You remember when the school burnt down? The grade school, or the high school was next to the grade school before they built the new one?
yeah,
That was in the 30s, I think.
yeah.
You remember when they built the new school?
Huh?
Do you remember when they built the new
No,
school?
I don't.
You were probably gone away
Yeah,
to
I was
school.
gone away.
Yeah.
That was in 36.
What year were
Well, I
you
was
born?
only a baby
You were a
then.
baby then.
You were born in what, 35?
Huh?
When were you 35, yeah.
Yeah. Last day of 35.
I don't know. Oh, is there any truth?
Huh?
Is there any truth to the rumor that Aunt Jean Clemens was related to Samuel Clemens, Mark Twain?
No, I don't think so.
Okay,
No, I don't know. Like,
That was a
That-
rumor?
that's Bobby Johnson's sister, Susan, keeps bringing that up all
oh
the
yeah,
time.
great grandfather. He had Abbott's Dairy in Philadelphia.
Abbott's Dairy in Philadelphia.
Yeah,
Your great grandfather.
yeah. My father had a silk mills down in West Scranton. He converted to an apartment building. Then he moved up to Archville. That's how my mother got up here. And she worked in the silk mills when she graduated. I don't know if she graduated from Archville High School or not. But she came up here when she was 7. And they had where the #1 hose company is now. That was their silk, one of our silk mills. Then they had 2 back in Academy Street. Probsey bought 'em, I think.
Okay.
And then they had one down in Winton. That was a throwing mill. And when that burnt down, they couldn't make nothing for material to make
Yeah.
the material. So I guess they jacked it up, and then my grandfather died. I don't know. My grandmother went to Philly with her sisters. But
Well, that's a good history.
It is, yeah.
yeah,
Every time we do these, we learn something we didn't
Yeah.
know before.
You remember the civil defense?
huh?
You remember the civil defense during the war? The people
Oh,
with the
yeah.
white helmets running around?
Yeah. When I went to Philly, we had an alert and had to get out of the trolley and go against the wall and wait there till the all clear was sounded, and then sing down at school.
Yeah.
Go in the hallway and turn all the lights off, and
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and they fire drills.
Yeah. Putting your head under the desk, hiding under the desk.
No, they had to walk out, get out.
Do you remember anybody talking about Edgerton? When
Not much, no. No.
that was long gone already.
Yeah,
I remember your
1905.
grandfather was on council, and he tried to buy all that land up there off Archville for, I think it was back in them days, 60,000, which was like
Really?
600,000 today.
Yeah.
But
He tried to buy
they
up
voted
the
it
Edgerton.
down.
Huh.
Interesting.
That's something I never knew.
I didn't either, yeah.
Yeah,
I wonder if Pepper knew that.
yeah.
Yeah, I never knew my grandfather was on council.
Oh yeah, look it up.
I'll have to look it up. I never thought about it
Should
because
be
I never
that. Yeah.
I never heard him talk about it, and I never heard my father talk about it.
Yeah. But I guess he got disgusted.
Was he on long or just one
I have
term?
no idea how long he was on, but I know.
I'll look it up. I'll have to look that up now in the records. Because now my son was on council,
Was it really?
so that's 2 Smallacombe's that were on council.
Wow.
Yeah.
My father was the auditor
Yeah.
for German. Him and Patsy LaRosa.
Oh boy, yeah, Patsy. That's why I don't get much Social Security now. Every year, you can take this off, you can hide this, you can hide that, you can deduct that for 5 years, you can deduct this for a couple years. He wasn't paying Social Security.
Oh.
You know, much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I changed accountants. I went up to Carbondale.
I don't blame you.
Erie.
I don't blame you.
Even Dookie Creek complained to him. Yeah. Oh, well, I didn't turn all my money in either. Good, eh? That's a good answer, right?
Yeah. Do you remember when they had jugs like that? The old Crocs? The old Crocs that are on that case behind you?
Yeah, I had big ones, 2 big ones down cellar like that. And I had 2 of the open for putting
Sauerkraut?
Sauerkraut. And
Yeah.
pork and
You don't have them anymore?
No, I think I left them there, and I don't know if John got rid of them or what.
I would have.
Yeah.
I would have taken them for.
In a heartbeat.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I can't think of anything else to
No.
ask. I mean,
We learned a lot there. We've been
Yeah.
going a little over an hour.
Yeah.
anything else you can think of you want to talk about, or anything else we missed? You remember the telephone, the
Rotary?
where the phone company was, and
Yeah, my sister Jeannie worked there. All the Nichols girls. Yeah, Paul Green's wife, Iggy Lindsay's wife, my sister.
that was at the right there on Bacon Street,
Yeah.
where the laundromat was.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember Cal changing it over to dial. Yeah.
What did
Everything changed.
Calvin do for a living?
Huh?
Calvin Johnson. What did he do for a living?
He worked for the telephone.
He worked for the telephone.
Bell Telephone in the beginning.
Yeah.
He worked in Scranton, and then he worked his way up to Oliphant, Carbondale, and then back to German.
Where did he live before he married Grace?
Huh?
Where did he live before he married Grace? Did he live in German? Cal?
He always was in German, yeah.
Yeah.
They, where my mother lived.
Yeah.
That was their homestead. There was Cal and David and Phyllis Johnsons.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all.
Is there any of them still alive?
Huh?
Is any of them Phyllis still alive?
Yeah,
Yeah.
her husband died, yeah. Snyder.
Yeah.
Dave Snyder. Yeah, she's a little older than me.
Do you remember the Welsh Baptist Church? And was it an real active church?
It wasn't my grandmother, your grandmother, great grandmother, you know, used to go there when they came to town.
Yeah.
And then because they were Welsh Baptist Church up in up
Greenfield?
the country.
Up in Greenfield?
The,
Clifford?
Cords Clifford.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they go up there.
Did that
Yeah,
building
thanks.
have a cross on it, or was it just like it is now?
No, just like it is now, and ice. Remember?
Did it have stained glass windows, or
No,
no?
no, just a little church. Never had too many numbers, I guess.
Yeah, I don't remember it. I remember Creeks living there my whole life, so
Yeah. And Duke's brother lived there.
do you remember Dawson Langman's store?
Huh?
Doc Langman
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
his store?
Yeah, Green stores, and then Morecambe lived down the next.
Down on
By the alley.
By the alley.
Yeah,
That was a little greenhouse, wasn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was.
Like a tan.
Huh?
Wasn't it like that fake siding on it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Looked like shingles.
Mm-hmm.
That's right, yeah.
Boo Boo Morecambe, Cowboy Morecambe. Yeah. What's her name? Novy's wife over here.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Her mother was a Morecambe. Yeah. Then what's his name upstairs there? It was in Morecambe. Yeah. It's the variety store. Morecambe's lived upstairs.
Edgar Morecambe?
Edgar.
Yeah. Yeah.
They were nice people, especially the mother. She was a real jewel.
Yeah. Do you remember Dick Muehlheisen's mother and father, other than just being the police? You know, remember anything about them? And
Not really, no.
She
He had, what, 2 sisters? Did he have 2 sisters?
he had a brother.
Yeah, Carl.
Yeah, Carl.
2 sisters too, I think. Marilyn, she married a minister, I think.
Okay, yeah, I
She
remember
used
her.
to go with Larry Venuti.
Larry Minotti.
In, yeah.
Yeah, I remember them when I was a kid. That's about all I can think
Yeah.
of.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
I want
right.
to thank you. Very good
Thank
interview.
you.
May 30th, 2019.
We'll get you